we're bringing in here. Swiss Eiger hiking yoga. And remember, we saw each other at Christmas or December, and here we are, 2.5 months away. Unbelievable. So the purpose of tonight or today is just go through all of the details. I've written everything down so I don't miss it. So I'm going to go through them all, the main points. And at the end, if there's something that you want to ask or there's something I'm missing, let me know. Okay. These are all because this is kind of an intricate tour, as Barb knows too. There's so many different details, and there's 3 different types of hikes, and there's train rides, and here and there. So some people are confused or can be confused by that. But once you're there, it all makes sense. So I'll go over a little bit of the pre-trip, what happens before, and things you can do after the trip as well. And what happens during the trip, we can't talk about that. That's top secret. All right. So you all know 7 days in the Swiss Alps, and we're staying in a small town. I'm going to show you a little Google Earth thing as well on a map so you see where we are. Small town Wengen. Have any of you have been to the Swiss Alps already? Peter, you
Never.
haven't.
No.
And
Craig
Allison, you
Craig
haven't.
has.
Okay,
No, but
guys.
Craig has skied there in the winter, but
Okay. So this is,
yeah.
I love it even more, fresh and new.
Hmm.
So we're staying right in the heart of the Swiss Alps, the Jungfrau region. And Interlaken is the base town. And then there's 2 valleys coming off there that we're going to be hiking in. But our central base camp to stay is in a small town called Wengen. It's a car-free town, and it's about 1,200 meters up. And so we're kind of away from everything and in a car-free town, which is really cool. And most of the hikes, well, we have to take a train to most of the start of the hikes. In Switzerland, the trains are phenomenal. They are bang on time because they have to be with all the people there. But the only thing with the trains is that we have to a lot of times travel to our start, and we have to travel back to the hotel. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. So our days are pretty long. We start a typical day, we start with yoga, fresh and early with our Barbie cakes right here, with a cappuccino in hand and an espresso in the other one.
Coffee
And,
first. Always
huh?
coffee first. Always coffee first.
Always, yes. With with Barb, it's double, one in each hand, and then 3 more at breakfast.
Yes. You know what? This is not a lie.
It's not a lie. That I
Carrie
can't
would
believe it.
say, "Wait, are all those cappuccinos for you?" And I go, "Yes, get your
It's unbelievable.
own."
So you start your day every day. I think there's one day that we have to miss it and have it later on, but pretty much every day yoga first thing in the morning. Um, and then, of course, we have our beautiful breakfast. The breakfast is top notch. And then we have our hikes. Afterwards, there's typically not enough time to have yoga again because when we get back, especially if you're doing the long version of the hikes, there's 3 different versions, then you'll get back too late to do any other stretch. We may do a little stretch afterwards, but basically the main yoga is in the morning. Okay, we have to kind of play it by ear, weather, speed of the group, and all that stuff. And then dinner is usually between 6 and 7 at night. And then I may throw in a couple special programs of breathwork thing at night, but typically every day is yoga in the morning, breakfast, and then 3 options of hikes. The 3 options, so this is the big thing, is number one, I call the experience. Number two is the light challenge. Number three is the bold challenge. So the first one is if you want to have a day off, and there's going to be places that you can go with your train pass because your train pass is a 5-day pass, which means you can use the trains anytime during that 5 days, 5 times a day if you want. And there's special places that the train pass takes you that we won't necessarily get to all the places like as a group. So if you say, okay, I'm taking it easy today, I'm going to Interlaken. There's other places you can visit if you want a chill day where you're still walking a lot, but that's the light version. So I guide you through that, what you do on that day. The light challenge is what everyone's doing together as a group. That's the mid-level. And that, when I say mid-level, that's anywhere from say 5 to 10K and would go up to about 800 meters max of elevation gain. And then the extra challenge, the bold challenge, happens when I say, okay, guys, now, so we have a hike in the morning. And then I say, okay, whoever wants to come with me, we're going to the shelter and we're hiking another 2 to 3 hours. And that would be about 1,200 meters, 1,300 meters, right? So they'll typically it ends up being about half and half, right? And then Barb, you would take them back down to Murin, go shopping, have cappuccinos.
Wine at that time. So it's cappuccino in the
Aperols,
morning.
Aperols.
Or
Aperol, yeah.
Aperol. Something, yeah, something different.
Yeah, so typically, so that's what the 3 means. Like we're still hiking together, but on about 3 of the days, I'm going to say, okay, whoever wants the extra today, we're going on the harder grat. The first day we have that little extra peak, the Schildhorn day, extra challenge. And I think there's 3 or 4 days
The
like
new
that.
one, the new one that we're putting in with that special cog train. Remember there was, I think that we had options up there too. Just walk around or you take them further. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
new
pretty
one.
much you have 3 options.
Yeah.
And this is the only tour that we can do that on because of the train. So the train makes it so flexible. So on the first hike day, so whoever just wants to do the 5K and wants to take the train back, they can take the train back. I say, who wants to walk 90 minutes down to the hotel with me? And so they can get an extra 90-minute hike. The trains give it so much flexibility, yet it makes the days a little longer. That's the only down. Unlike Dolomites, where you just end up back at the hotel, you're just hiking right back, right? So we've got a little more travel time, but it's just out of this world what we get to see.
So Carrie,
yeah,
Carrie, so is yoga like at 7 and breakfast at 8, something like that, or earlier?
no,
Yeah,
not earlier.
no, yeah, not
Okay.
early.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a day that we have to leave earlier, and then we'll usually forego yoga on that day or do something shorter later.
Yeah, have an afternoon, evening, like before dinner yoga.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes when we're waiting for the travel, we do yoga on the spot.
We do. We've been known to do push-ups on the train.
Yeah,
and
we do that too.
Get all
Enjoy.
kinds of weird looks. Peter, you're going to be doing push-ups on the train.
Oh yeah. We even did that.
I'm okay. I'm going to practice this afternoon.
Exactly. I
We
think
did that.
Carrie and Barb should each put a video on with all of your best how to do a push-up tips.
How to do a push-up. We'll just get
Some
down.
some of us aren't that proficient.
Allison, at the end of the tour, you will be.
Oh, I think she's better than she thinks she is.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be practicing on the train. Okay, guys. So here, I just want to show you basically where we are.
So stinking beautiful.
Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is kind of like a little slideshow of where it is. And so here's Interlochen. This is the main hub. And then you have the Brienne's Lake and the Toon Lake to the left of it. So we're actually staying right in here, Mengen. So from Interlaken, you've got the two valleys. You've got the one train that comes through here, and then we break off and go to Lauterbrunnen Valley. And there's also the valley that goes to Grindelwald. So we're basically spending our time in here, okay, exploring this region, but we're also on day one hiking the infamous Hardergrat right over here. And this the view of this lake from up here, it's like none other. So let's hope for sunny days. And so we're all in this region here. This is where we sleep. And Kleine Scheidegg, which is also famous. It's on many movies, Clint Eastwood movies, because home of my most favorite mountain, the Eiger. And on day one, you get to do yoga with Barb in front of the Eiger. So this is where we sleep, but we're hiking to Kleine Scheidegg, and we hike along under the Eiger Mountain. You have an option on one of the days to go to the Jungfrau Joch right here, which is the highest mountain station in Europe. And you would take a train from the Kleine Scheidegg that goes through the mountains. It's unreal. And you're up there on the Alesh Glacier. And that's just, if you've never done it, that's definitely something you can do for sure.
That is, yeah, a must do. I might even do it again.
Yeah.
It's the highlight really for a lot of people, but keep in mind it's very touristy too.
Yes.
We, Carrie and I included it in our first tour, and it was really, really busy, really touristy. So now we put it as an option for people to do. But every time
I mean,
do it as an option and they love it. So
like this whole region is stunning. You have to see it. The time we're there, it is very touristy. It's that's just one thing that when you expect that, then we're okay with it. Right? There's lots of people in the trains, but we still do our thing. We still get to see all the cool sights, get off the beaten track a little bit. And so I just wanted to show you from that map view where we're looking at. Now, the last 2 days, you guys get a train pass to go over here. So let's pull up.
yes.
So Kandersteg, my most favorite lake, and I think one of Barbie's too, Ocean Lake. This is the highlight. I mean, every day is a highlight for Pete's sake. And it really is. But this lake, we always had it as a post trip before. Now we decided it's got to be in the trip because people were disappointed that they missed it. So it's the last 2 days. And again, there's 3 options for this lake too. You can do the extra challenge where I take you up to a mountain hut at 2,900 meters high, or you do the hike that's around the lake that is also very challenging. And the lake's unreal. And you can also go skinny dipping at night if you wish, if you want to be bold and crazy. So Kandersteg is also somewhere where you can stay at the end if you say, okay, maybe I stay an extra 2 days there or an extra night. Because it's pretty easy to get the train and head off to your next destination. So if you feel it wasn't long enough there, or if you want to put an extra day there, it's easy. You can just book at the hotel one more extra night, and you let me know that if you want to do that. I know it's hard to say because you've never been, but 2 days is not really a long time there. And that comes to the next thing. From this area, some people say, okay, what do I do before? What do I do after? Well, there's lots of options. One option is going to Zermatt, so home of the Matterhorn. And where's, aha, I have it over here. So that's about, I believe, about a 2-hour train ride from where we are.
Yeah, it's closer to Oceansea, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah. I did it after Oceansea, and it was
Mm-hmm.
really easy train ride.
Yeah.
And then when you get to Zermatt, the town is magical, but you can also take the Glacier Express. It's called like a mountain train. It's like a high-speed gondola train that goes up to the top. And then you can do, it's called the Five Lake Hike.
Mm-hmm.
It takes about 4 hours, and you go, the Matterhorn is in your view the whole time, but there's one lake where it has the mirror image of it. So it's a really stunning hike, very easy. You don't need a guide because all the trails are marked around the lake, so you can do that on your own. But that gondola there is expensive. I think it was like $98 for the
Well,
Canadian.
all
So yeah,
all gondolas in Switzerland
yeah, yeah.
are very high. That's for sure. So there's Matterhorn. Like if you've never been to Switzerland, then that's again a highlight to plan in for afterwards. The other thing, if you like lakes, is to go to like Geneva, Montreux area, which is more west. What is it
Lucerne.
on the map? Lucerne. And that's what I wanted to bring in here as well is, and I'm going to be visiting it soon, is the Stoos Ridge. Barb and I were
Mm.
talking about it. It's not far from Lucerne. It's another really incredible ridge hike. And this is sort of some pictures of it up here. Um, again, it's a quite a popular, it's kind of I actually have never been. I'll be going in June, but it's become a popular place too, and it's a great hike, and it's not far outside Lucerne. Um, yeah, so that's Stoos. If you're coming back to Zurich anyhow, that would be a good stop. There's also, which is also stunning, I love, is the Italian part of Switzerland. The southern, to go to Lugano or Locarno is also at the southern part. It's very different, but it's still part of Switzerland. So there's lots of options for post-trip. Some of you may have to go back home right after, but I just thought I'd throw in those few options there to get your wheels running. Some of you may just want to hang out in Interlaken longer, or stay in Grindelwald longer, because we're not going to be able to see a lot of Grindelwald. We're going to have basically one day there. And again, there's a lot to see there, right? So there's a lot just in the Jungfrau region. We can't do all of it in 5 days. So you may want to extend it or go to another part of Switzerland or Italy because it's all
And
close.
yeah, and even if you wanted to stay in Zurich, Old Town Zurich, if you haven't been there before, it's definitely worth staying a couple of nights.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I was going to say about the training, I know you all know, I've talked to each and every one of you about this, being prepared for the training part, especially if you're doing the level 2 and 3, getting some good up and down training in and with poles, because on this tour, there's a huge variety of all type of trails. Even on the first day, there's the Hardergrat has a lot of routes and it's a lot of you know, um,
Tech-
it's technical. So poles, even though some may not like poles, I really recommend it because when it's a little bit wet, we definitely need them. Because when you're talking about roots and stuff like that, and that type of trail, if you've got any knee issues, you know, you really need the poles. And some good practice with it too, with a backpack and the boots. So, but I mean, I always still go over the basic stuff like that, but it's important to have that training under your belt, especially if you want to do the longer ones for sure. Because the longer hikes on a couple of days would be about 6 hours. Or the Kandersteg one will be about 7 hours. 7 hour hike. If you're coming and you want to do that extra challenge, just so you know before. So in your training, you'd want to have at least 4 hours, 4.5 of steady hiking in of up and down Chicopee. If you're in KW, I'm saying. So hiking shoes, you guys are good with that. Um,
Just
um,
to recap with the hiking shoes,
mhm.
when I first started doing the tours with Carrie, I'd never done any hiking in the mountains. I always just hike on the paths here in London. And so the first couple of tours, I would buy just the higher top hiking shoes for ankle stability. And now I don't. Now I just use the hiking, just the trail running shoes. But everybody has different ankle things. Some people do need a more sturdy thing on your ankle. So that's one thing that you need to figure out. Just because bringing big boots is a lot of weight.
Yeah,
And now I have these really nice light trail running shoes. I bring two
yeah.
pairs and alternate them. So for me, that works better than heavy boots. But everybody has to figure out what is good for them on, on trails. You need good traction is key, but do you need the heavy ankle?
So,
I didn't know what I needed, but I had to learn and
mhm.
experiment. My ankles are pretty strong, so the high tops I didn't need.
Yeah, most people don't do the high tops anymore, but I'm gonna recommend like a hiking shoe more than trail runners because most of the hiking shoes are waterproof and a lot of the trail runners aren't. So the profile on the trail runners is great. And the hiking shoe doesn't have is just under the ankle, so it has the stability and it's got the grip and it's got the waterproof. And the hiking shoes now anyhow look like runners. They look like runners because they're so light. They're lightweight. They've changed them so much from before. So a hiking shoe recommended for sure, like a good with a good profile, waterproof. You can bring gaiters. You can, but there's no big obvious streams or anything we're going through, but there may be a day when it's a little more wet and you may feel better with gaiters. Yeah, those are
Those
trail
are
runners.
waterproof.
They are waterproof, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
super light. So, and I have a
Mhm.
couple of pairs, just live and
Yeah.
learn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're planning on doing like the going on the extra, which is a little bit more challenging terrain on a couple of the days with loose rock, it's a little steeper, then I recommend a more like a sturdy hiking shoe. But most of the other hiking trails, you can do a hiking or you can do trail runner and stuff like that. But on the steeper trails with a little more loose rock and a little more challenge, then you want a good sturdy shoe, like at least shoe part and poles for sure. Um, packing, packing. So shoes, number one, we've already talked about is number one. Rain gear, number two, big, um, top and bottom rain gear, because we're gonna go hiking even when it's raining. And just like it can be, we've had this tour when it was a heat wave and it was just insane heat, but we still want to bring everything. Down jacket, um, layers, light layers underneath. Um, you can hike in a skirt, shorts, whatever you're comfortable with, right? Just like anything, but we have the privilege of being in a nice hotel, so we don't have to lug everything around, right? Your hiking pack you can bring like anywhere from 28 to 35 liters. Since it's more day pack you're doing, 28 should do it. 25 to 28. Because most people are bringing a suitcase and then they have the backpack with them, like as a separate little carry-on or like that when they for the plane, right? But since it's day pack and you're just going to be putting jackets, water, food, and everything in there, it doesn't need to be huge, your actual backpack, unless you're doing bigger trips afterwards. For yoga gear, if you do have a travelable yoga mat, it would be amazing for you to bring it because we're a little limited on I'm definitely bringing some mats, but if you have one of those kind of those travelable foldable ones, that would be awesome.
Peter,
What
Barbie,
do
you
you
were
mean
going to say something.
that folds up square or just rolls up?
there's different
Square.
types of travel mats. Some of them fold up square and some of them are super light. They fold up, roll up. Sorry.
Okay.
Peter,
Yes.
when Peter was in the Dolomites, he gave me his foldable yoga mat. Now,
Oh,
here's the thing.
So you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
bring
give
it
it
back for
back
me,
to
Barb?
I no, this is the thing. I'm gonna give it to my husband who works in Kitchener. So you're gonna pick it up if I think you need to bring it because I don't have the like I'm gonna be really tight on space and I'm gonna get Carrie to bring my mat for me. And I'm gonna give you your beautiful folding mat, which is like in immaculate condition. It's beautiful.
Wow.
So I will
You
give it to
remember.
and you can pick it up at my husband's office to bring with you. Sound good?
Sure. Well, text me, let me know where that is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And actually, if I'm in Kitchener before then, and I might be, then maybe you and I can meet up for coffee or something.
Okay.
But I'll
oh,
Okay.
definitely get it to you before you go because
Okay.
that's yours.
Okay.
perfect. And it's great because on the first day we're hiking with a yoga mat on your back. So the smaller the better, right?
Yeah.
Foldable.
Just a quick question, Carrie.
Yeah.
What's the coldest temperature? You said a down jacket. What's the coldest temperature you might expect?
Yeah, in the Swiss Alps have had everything, like everything. So I would say in July, um, the last few years, I think when it rains, it might get down to 15, 13 if it's raining. But
And we didn't have like the last couple of times we had no rain. You know
yeah,
what you need the jacket for if you do Jungfrau? Because we're in shorts, and then when you go up to the top, it's just the elevation that, you're kind of
hmm
cold.
But
But
you're also when we're at Fierst, when we're above Grindelwald, and we're out over 2,000 meters, it's cold up there. Like so, you need a windbreaker, you need something for the wind, a shell, and like a thin down so you can layer. So it's better, not a big thick down, but so you can layer up
Yeah,
for
like I have
sure.
a nice thin vest, like a nice thin hiking vest that's
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, that should be okay as long as you have a shell over it,
yeah,
like
whatever you had
for
That's what I
for
was
wind.
thinking.
the Dolomites, Peter, it's
Yeah.
probably the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
mean, most of the time the weather's good, but you never know. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
never know. And when the rain comes,
Yeah, you know.
you never know. And of course, bring your evening wear, nice clothes. You got to bring those nice shoes and you know, nice dresses, right, Claire?
Um, I think
Because
after
There's a
hiking
lot
for
of
8 hours,
nice
I'm
wines you
not
can
going to be
get
able
in
to
the
get
Alps,
shoes
I've
on
heard.
my back on my feet.
every day is a
Claire,
celebration.
anything goes.
There you go.
Every
Awesome.
day is a
Birkenstocks.
celebration.
Yeah.
Birkenstocks.
Yeah.
So the next thing I was going to say, make sure insurance that you've got insurance that covers evacuation, helicopter rescue. So that's important there, even though it's a busy area and we're close to a lot of things. Um, definitely just double check on that on your insurance. That's a reminder. And I like to have people send me their insurance before the trip, just like a copy of your medical would be awesome. But I'll put all that in email for sure.
And
What's
just
up?
so you
Mhm.
know, for the insurance, it's not extreme activity. You're on a hiking trail. It's not considered
Yes.
extreme in case your insurance company asks you, because that
No.
is more like very expensive. So you just say no, just hiking on a marked trail with a guide. So
Yeah, and you still need helicopter rescue on basic trails too, right? Even just like a ankle sprain if someone can't hike on a normal trail. So it's it's important. That's an important one for sure. Um yeah, so anything else? Um
Carrie, I have a question for you.
yes.
Can you recommend a specific pole?
If you're gonna especially if you're gonna hike and practice at home with them,
Yeah.
then I recommend well, Leaky is the Leky is the ones I use, and there's three-way foldables. You can get I use one for trail running, but you can get them for hiking too that are a little sturdier. And then they fold up three times, and they're like this. Then you can fit them in your pack.
Man, those are not cheap, are they?
No, they're not,
um
Gotcha.
some
but
are
you can get cheaper ones though.
yeah. I have Eddie Bauer pools. They were not expensive
Yeah,
and
you
they
can get cheaper.
unscrew and fold into but I like that better than the folding ones. They weren't expensive. I don't think do you have it, Eddie Bauer in
Yeah.
Michigan?
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah, online, you can get it anywhere.
and there you go. Yeah. So for me, I really like them. They've lasted for like 5 or 6 years. I still have the same pair. And I say that because I bought an extra pair when I was in Switzerland a couple of years ago, and
Mhm.
I still have not used them, but I've lent them to other people occasionally. So,
Awesome.
but
Thank you. Thank you, Barb.
Um, yeah, because you just they need to be sturdier, not the real light
yeah.
carbon, almost total lightweight ones I have. You want need to have the sturdy ones, and you can find
Wait, you're
non-expensive
saying
ones.
carbon is bad
Well, you can
or
get
carbon's good?
carbon because they're lighter weight, but they need to be pretty sturdy for hiking,
Yeah.
right? So I use the trail running ones, which I still use in hiking. But I have a certain technique with them, right? So it's I've had people use them and break them because they just drive them in like a regular hiking pole. So it's better to have something pretty sturdy. And Leaky is what's the other company? Oh, I forget the name, but Leaky is the best
Gotcha.
for
All right.
poles.
Awesome.
Just try
Thank
them
you.
out and just
Leaky
tell them what
poles.
you're doing if
Yeah.
you go into a store, and then
Yeah.
they'll recommend for sure.
Great.
Um, I was just going to mention about altitude. No problems. Altitude, we're hiking. The highest we'd be hiking to is almost 3,000 meters, just shy of 3,000 meters at the Schildhorn. So altitude problems. The only altitude you feel is when you go to the Jungfraujoch, and we're not running or doing anything there, but you would because it's at 30, I believe it's 3,600 meters up at the station. So that's where you're going to feel it more if you do go up there. But other than that, there shouldn't be any altitude problems. Um, so food and dietary. So if you have any food issues, make sure you let me know that too, any specifics. But they can cater to all at the hotel for sure. We're going to open up a WhatsApp group about like 2 weeks before the trip where all of the details will go in, um, details of meeting time and any last minute things I need to know and that you guys need to know. We're going to open that up with more details, a WhatsApp group, a couple weeks before our trip. Okay.
Yep.
I think that's it. And if you guys have any, I mean, if you're wondering, okay, you want to do something afterwards, you're not sure, you can talk to any of us and We can help you with that if you're not sure what to do afterwards.
And there
If you
is
have time.
free Wi-Fi at both hotels. And the final payment, Carrie, is due with 60 days prior. Is
Yeah.
that we'll send out a message for that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Payment, okay,
July
60 days.
22nd, June 22nd, May 22nd. So in about 3 weeks. So I'll send that out as a group email.
Okay.
And lunch is basically on your own. So I bring a few snacks, bars, things like that. Sometimes you can take a little bit from the buffet in the morning as a snack, but you have to sneak that because, you're really not supposed to. But every year people do it. So I'm just
They
saying.
do?
You're not telling us to do it,
Barb's such a
but
bad
Actually,
influence, Barb.
I sometimes don't. I always see people and I go, damn, I wish I would have done that because they're eating these great little things and I have my bar, so, and some of the spots where we go to, they have soups and stuff you can buy or drinks or whatever. But keep in mind that the lunch, if you're like me, I like to eat every 2 hours. So I bring a
Yeah.
lot of food. There is a co-op right near our hotel on the first hotel. So, and
The
they have
grocery store.
tons of stuff. Yeah.
And tagging on to what Barb's saying, every hike has opportunity for food stop.
Okay.
Where you can grab lunch, except for the harder hike, except for the first day. And so you're always going to be able to grab something. I would have some Swiss franc bills, but pretty much everywhere in Switzerland takes card. So you want to have a little bit of cash if you leave tip for any little lunchy type things you get. But other than that, they're very much card pretty much everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So what's a
I think
what's a
that's it.
little bit? What's a little bit of cash?
Cash. Um,
Like
I don't know,
a
like
hundred francs or 500 francs? Or...
100 francs, 150.
100 francs.
Okay.
Because, well, if you like to use your card, uh, you should probably, most people use their card these days, right?
Yeah.
Credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most
um,
places take it. It's just for the places that don't, that you would use
Mhm.
cash.
have you guys used the Wise app? WISE app,
Oh,
What
where
is
you
that?
can
What is
get,
that?
it allows you to basically convert money inside the app and just use it. So when I was in England in the fall, my wallet got stolen. I didn't have any cash, and I just used the Wise app the whole time. Tap, 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 tap. You might want to look into that. It's a fantastic. It's a fan. You convert the money within the app, and then you just
Oh,
tap everywhere, so you don't need to carry
mm-hmm.
cash. And at the end of your trip, you convert your cash back into Canadian dollars within the app, and you can use it
Mm-hmm.
at home for whatever, so you don't lose any. You're not stuck with money and cash in your pocket you're not going to use. So I'd
Right.
highly recommend it. WISE Wise app.
Why is that? Okay. Excellent. Any other questions? I think I covered the main parts.
yeah, we covered a lot.
Yeah. Anything else
No,
comes
that's
up?
it.
Yeah,
Um,
quick question, Carrie.
yeah.
We're flying in on the day before. And so
Mhm.
we're probably gonna, I'm thinking go to take the train to Interlaken and
Mhm.
spend the night there. So it's a closer trip. What time do we need to be in Wengen?
I believe it's 10 in the morning we kick off. I think
So
I'll
like
have to double
there
check
and
the
checked in and
itinerary.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, between 10 and 11. Last year we started right at 11 and we started with a circle and then we headed on our hike. So that's pretty easy from Interlaken because it's just a 20-minute train ride into the valley and then it's a 10-minute up ride up
Right.
to Wengen.
Does it make more sense to go straight to Wengen then?
if you want to be a little more comfortable in the morning and relax at the hotel.
Because 10 is really like 4 in the morning brain time, right?
What time do you get in, Claire?
We get in we fly through Amsterdam and we get in at like 11 in the morning.
Okay, yeah.
I would come to the hotel.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it's sounding like.
You have lots of time, and then it's so much easier. Then you can walk around the little town, and
Yeah.
I'm
We'll do
I'm
that.
arriving the day earlier as well. I think I don't know what time my flight arrives. I know it's in the morning, so but
So I think there was a communication card in which you said if you want to stay in the hotel the night before to let you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I officially let
yeah.
you know?
You're officially letting me know right now?
Yeah.
For sure.
yeah.
And I'd still recommend, well, maybe if you don't have if you have bags and stuff, probably not, but to check Interlaken, to take a look around Interlaken if you're already there. But maybe if you just arrive and you're jet lagged, get to the hotel.
Makes more sense to go right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Super.
Got
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Fantastic. I think that's it, guys. If anything else comes up, I'm something that I missed, but anyhow, you get all this in a email anyhow to remind you. And yeah. And then I'm gonna send this as a YouTube video too for people that missed it. Okay,
Peter,
so
nice to
say
meet you. Allison,
And it
nice to
is-
meet you.
Hey, guys,
It is-
looking
And
forward.
it's still full,
say hi
right?
to the whole team. Say hi to the whole team,
Very
everybody.
thanks,
Hi, team.
Barb.
Hi, team.
Hi, team, people that are watching the replay. Hi, we'll see you soon. Did you
All
ask
right, see
something,
you
Allison?
guys.
I did. I asked, it's full? Because somebody just asked me. We are full, right?
We're full.
I'm
Yeah.
Okay.
just gonna have to not.
Oh,
Oh,
I lost
she's
her.
gone.
Yeah.
She's gone. Okay.
Everybody who I've told that we're going on this trip is like, oh my God, you're the luckiest people on the face of the earth.
You truly are. And I can't wait
You
to
are, Claire. You
So
all
good.
are so lucky. Like,
We are.
dang.
We're damn lucky.
And yes, this is a good vibe tribe. It's a good
Oh,
vibe
yeah.
tribe. I
It's
feel
going to
it.
be amazing. Best one ever. I feel it. Feel
So,
it in my
I
bones.
think so. All
Feel
right.
it in your bones. Feel it in your bones. Okay, guys.
Great.
All right, see you later.
Okay,
See you
bye.
later, everybody.
Hey, have a nice weekend, everybody.
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
See
Thanks
ya.
for
And I'll
coming
be in
out.
touch. I'll be in touch with Claire and Peter.
Okay.
Get that yoga
Bye.
mat to Peter.